I was actually a very, very lucky witch. A very lucky dragon witch 20 years ago. Because some were also unlucky for the reason that it was all starting in 2005 when internet was just new. 2005, 20 years. And I was 18 years old. Of course, an 18-year-old guy that was just awakened inside of the spiritual path. And not because there was a great ceremony with some religious people that said, oh, this the God and this God that. And no, it came out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere on my 18th birthday. That is what made it so special. There was nothing, actually, not on the radio, not on the TV that suggested anything dragons. No, in that night of 28th of November, I came to see and feel the dragon in my living room. And I could feel it. I was kneeling down. I was actually falling down. I hurt my legs because of the sheer amazement of what I could feel. Of course, I knew for 5 months I was gone. 5 months, and without knowing it, I did a 5-month ritual to delay myself from all earthly pleasure, which means no food that I loved, no smoking, no drinking. I wasn't smoking back then. No smoking, no drinking, no sexual things. Nothing that could ever be in earthly pleasures. I just distracted. It was like distraction for myself. I only had the dragon in mind. Only. And people might say how crazy that was. But that is discipline that I had. Out of this world discipline that I still don't understand today how I managed to do that. And after these 5 months was done, finally, my dragon, I heard it as clear as day. I never heard my dragon so clear as then said, it's fine, it's enough. And I said, oh, and I wanted to tell the world about the dragon. That all of these religions are false. All of these spiritualities are false, even though there is another thing about this, about the great book, of course. But I didn't know this back then. It was all chaos. And that is also what dragons are. Dragons are children of chaos. And I loved it to be one of them. And out of the chaos, you create the path that is what's created for you. But, of course, I knew how it sounded. I knew. Once I said this to people, I didn't say this to people. Once I said, oh, maybe dragons are real to my parents. I said this, and they, especially my dad. Wow, that is crazy. That is nonsense. I knew that I shouldn't say this. Shouldn't say this to anyone. I just kept it for myself. I said I'm going to keep it for myself, and I will continue to have this life philosophy for myself. But I had such difficulty to keep it for myself. But out of a miracle, I cannot say it, a draconic miracle, that I could see a dragon for sale in that store at my hometown. There was just a Wicca store opened, and there was a figurine for sale, and that dragon was of the dragon, of course, and that dragon resembles my dragon 100%. It was amazing that I could see that, and I said, that is beautiful, and I entered that store, and that is how I came to know my mentor, a dragon mentor, and that is why I was lucky. I was lured into that store so that I had someone to talk about my spirituality, because I didn't even say this to her. She said it to me. She said, there's a dragon by her side. I didn't even spoke to her. I didn't even say anything to her. You like dragons. I have something for you. And then she gave me my necklace. I say it so many times, but that is what made my path so beautiful. After this 5 months of nothing, 5 months of being just away from the world, just to be closer to something that wasn't from this world, a different dimension, from dragons. Dragons one with nature. And once I came to introduce to her, she gave me my necklace and said, keep it on always. But after a month that I came to her, after a month, she gave me another necklace. And she said, try to wear it next to the dragon. And that is what it makes it. Why? It was a phoenix. A phoenix, you know, the bird. But I said, I don't have anything. She said, just wear it. Just wear it. Maybe it will help you, because the phoenix, you know, it rises from the ashes. Maybe just wear it beside. And I wear it beside. One night it took, and it was broken. The head was off. The head was off. This is as strong as it can be. I sleep with this. I go to the shower with this. I do everything with this. And I wanted to do the same thing with that phoenix, but after one night, it was destroyed. Destroyed, and I didn't even touch it. There was only the head. The head was only on. It was beheaded, but while my dragon was completely fine. You know, in the beginning, it was a little bit bendy, you know, but now you cannot do it anymore. It's as solid as it can be. So my dragon mentor was not surprised. She actually expected this, because after a month, it was already alive. And that is how strong I was with the dragon. It was already alive. It didn't accept anything else in that place. This is where your heart is. And your heart is the dragon, not the phoenix, not anything else. So that is what I came to understand from my dragon mentor. She was expecting this. There are also other things that I learned from her. For example, if you buy a dragon figurine, once it becomes alive, you know, you need to know that dragons don't like to be in closed rooms. So keep that in mind. If your bedroom, if you want to have a dragon altar like myself, then keep in mind that dragons, that is her words, because she also she was home in many places, but also on the dragon's path. She was not on the dragon's path, but she observed it. She knew about it. And of course, I was actually the very first one that it was so clear that once I entered that store. That is also the thing that it was a confirmation that everything that I had was real. So that I really saw the dragon, that everything that I feel is very much real, that dragons are very much real. That was the confirmation. It was supposed to be. So dragons don't like to be in closed rooms. And what you also need to know, that is also what I learned from her. She said dragons are both dark and light. So don't say that dragons can be all light or all dark, because people don't decide, you know, they cannot decide what are dragons. Dragons are not humans, they are not horses, they are not your servants, but at the same time, they are not demons, they are not devils, they are dragons. And dragons don't, are not dark or light, they are gray. And that is also what I learned from her. So don't use anything like smudge or anything like it. Don't do an exorcism because you want to be possessed. You want to be possessed by the dragon. So don't use anything like that. No smudge or anything that can chase the darkness away, because you are one with the darkness, she said. You are one with the darkness. You are one with the light. You want to create light out of the darkness. That is what she learned. She taught me. Also, don't mix it. And that is actually her recommendation from back in the day. So you are here, she said. Everything else is nothing that you should be worried about. Don't go inside of churches. So that is what I learned the hard way. Because once my grandma died, I was inside of that church. I already felt bad to go inside, but oh goddess, this one was burned into my skin. Really, inside the church, I had to go out. I couldn't breathe, because it's not our spirituality. It's not your spirituality, she said. Everything that is inside of that church is given to that God. That God will not be pleased to see you, that you are giving yourself to dragons. And that God will try to chase you away. So it doesn't matter which God, but you have making your choice. You made your choice into this. And your choice was the dragons. Of course, it's obvious because you have a dragon spirit. You are coming from the dragon realm. These are the things that she said to me. These are the things that I learned. This is not something that just pops out of nowhere. And yet also I experienced all of that. So no closed rooms, because dragons are beings of nature, being of freedom, being one with the four elements. If you detach them from that, if you erase that, if you detach them from nature, from going outside, from being outside, from looking outside, that is really bad for the dragon. They don't like it. No smudge, no exorcisms or whatever, no anything like crosses, like anything. That is why I was so upset when people are trying to do not really that they are mixing paths, but they are mixing rules of the path that isn't the dragon. Oh no, goddess, dragons do not kneel. They do not kneel for any god, not even the dragon god. So that is also what I learned. No religions, no church, and also whenever, that is also what she recommended to me, whenever you are talking with the dragon, it's better actually to close up the gates. And I said, how do you close the gates? And then she showed me the dragon eye symbol that connects you and your dragons. That is also close the gates, because there might be other things that wants to come true. It's not only the dragon that wants to come to our side, it is also other beings that might be much more malevolent, and that you want to close up the gates. And how to close up the gates? Dragons have authority, and you might not know it, but dragons have authority, and so have you. You have authority to close up the gates just by imagine it, just by knowing it inside of your head, that you with your claw are trying to close up the gate, and with opening it again, you are doing the same thing. So don't. Another important one, another recommendation from my dragon mentor is don't ignore them. Don't ignore them, and don't get bored with them, because they are very, very proud beings. Dragons are so proud. Keep that in mind. They are very proud beings, and they don't want to be ignored. They see it as some kind of that you don't. It's not. How can I describe it? The best for dragons, that is just unhonorable. You want to give them honor, but if you ignore them, then you don't give them honor. And that is also what my dragon mentor said. You need discipline. But I told her whatever happened the 5 months before, the 5 months that I went away from the earth. She said, "Wow, that is the reason why he's so present." She said. That is the reason why you are so dedicated. So dedicated, you just would take a bomb for him. You would die for him, she said. That is why he's so present. That is why I just can see him with my naked eye almost, she said. And that is why I can see him so well. How can I say to you, my brother or sister, how to do the same thing? Because dragons, you don't learn this from books. You don't learn this from people. You learn this from experience. Of course, I learned a lot from my dragon mentor. But once she said once I explained how my discipline was, she was, that's the reason. That's the reason why I can see him. So, discipline. This is so important. Discipline and your desire, and do effort. It requires discipline and desire. And that is why back in the day they tried to reveal the secrets of the dragon, eternal life, the alchemists, but they all failed because of one thing. They didn't have the key. They didn't have the desire. They didn't have the discipline. They didn't have any of that love, of that they didn't have anything of that. And that is a bit, we can do that. We can do that. You just need to want it. How you start. Because I was actually so lucky to have her, my dragon mentor. Because back in the day, internet was early. I didn't write it on the internet back then. I couldn't go to a priest and say whatever I saw and, oh my God, help me. I couldn't do any of that. And it drove me insane. That is why I was able to do that, to push me away from this world and just be one with the dragon. And I was one with the dragon. I was gone from this world and so out of my humanity. I stepped out of my humanity. That is why I connected with the dragon so well. This discipline. I didn't ignore him. I always close the gates every single time whenever I connect with the dragon. Close the gates for the others, because we have authority over the spirits and the other realms. We actually shouldn't mix religions and their rules, because keep that in mind, really. Dragons do not kneel. Dragons do not obey. Dragons do whatever they desire. No smudge. Not if you want to get rid of darkness, dark spirits, then use your teeth. Like I said, you have authority. And no, don't put them in closed rooms. Dragons don't want to be imprisoned. Dragons want to be free. Like I said, my dragon mentor, 20 years around my neck almost. And it was that phoenix, no place for a phoenix, only the dragon. It was, yeah, I didn't understood actually in the beginning why she wanted to have me, this phoenix, just beside him. Because a phoenix, why phoenix? Yeah, it goes back out of his ashes. It's whenever it dies, it comes out of its ashes. Beautiful, isn't it? I was like, okay, why? Fine. But when I show her the head of that phoenix and the rest of the body, I said, it didn't work. She said, I expected that. Why? But she wanted to experiment herself because she didn't see it as well as with me. And I was like, yes, I loved that. I loved it. I'm not going to lie. I loved that. That's confirmation that she gave me. That she really, I can see your dragon. And whatever she can give me for advice, it was so welcome. It was like I was going to a dragon priest, saying whatever I had to do. But she didn't give me clear laws or things that I need to do, I will do. No, she gave me advice. Just advice, and this advice was world. I mean, it meant the world to me, because they are such a wise being. So don't ignore them. Don't disrespect them. Don't just. But how can I disrespect them? By showing your back, turning your back to them. And you might be surprised how many people might turn their back on their spirits or their spirituality or their gods. But she said, I am actually, when I see you, how disciplined you are and how you love your dragon, how you love each other, then I'm actually very confident that you will not turn your back on any of you. You are one together always. And that is also my message to you. Your dragon and yourself. You are together forever. It always has been, not only in this life, but in other lives, previous lives, lives that are about to come, lives everywhere. You are always together. And maybe it will be reversed, that your dragon is the human and you are the guardian dragon, taking an eye on them from the dragon realm. So I am so grateful for this coincidence. It was like I was pushed in that direction. I was pushed, and that is also gave me the strength to say to other people, and also to experiment with different kind of dragon rituals. And that is what you have to do. A dragon ritual is like a paper, and you are trying to draw something. Nobody can say to you, you have to draw it like this. No. It's a piece of art. You have to do it for yourself. So draw it for yourself. Draw the dragon. Draw how you want to call it, how you want to draw it. And that is what a dragon ritual is. Don't forget to be a dragon yourself, because or else it won't work. And that is why also in these 5 months, why I could clearly feel and see the dragon, is because I was disciplined. And without even knowing it, I was the dragon inside of the dragon realm, far away from the earth. So my brothers and sisters, be blessed.